Check, check. Check 1 2, baby. Big Mike coming at you live and direct. Max City Limits Radio Show. Philosopher King Central. Yeah, man. If you want to, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon. I got more shows coming later on this month, man. You know, maybe I can get a hold of Tony. Maybe not. I don't know. He's a busy man as of late. So, you know, we'll just do them shows as they come. You feel me? Yeah, man. But I don't know. I guess what I'll do today is I'll just do some addendums, man. I'll go ahead and just recap some things from my last shows or from things that I left untied. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily put the bow on the present. You know what I mean? The bow tie or the wrapping around the present on some of my past shows, man. So I guess I'll go ahead and revisit some of my past excursions, man. I guess the first one I'll deal with right now, was, cats want to know, why I stopped talking, why I don't necessarily talk about religion anymore. If you know me and you've been following me for years, man, going all the way back to 2005, I was always talking about, philosophy and metaphysics and religion. And I guess you could say it just got boring. You know what I mean? I really wasn't finding a lot of cats on my level when I was speaking on these things, man. And, it was just kind of like running into a brick wall, man. I was the dude where the Jehovah Witnesses or the Mormons would come to my door. I wouldn't slam the door in their face. I'd be like, hey, let's get this cipher going, man. Let's build. You know what I mean? Let me see what you're working with, man. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And they found that to be quite bizarre. They wasn't really used to that, man. But yeah, that's what kind of time I was on, man. And I don't know. I just became redundant and a waste of time. You know what I mean? So now I've kind of like fell into this other abyss of politics. You know what they always say? You never have debates about religion and politics. And I'm definitely seeing why you should never have debates about politics as well. Because, all of this is, mind fuckery. All of it is a thought matrix, a prison for your mind is what it is, man. But yeah, man, as much as I love the topic of getting into philosophy, metaphysics, and religion, like I said, there's not too many people that can really appreciate what I'm speaking on, man. It really ain't. And I guess a lot of y'all would say, well, this is YouTube and your audience will find you, man. Yeah, but like I said, I was doing this back in the early 1990s, man. I was on a cable access TV show spitting all sorts of knowledge and game and this and that and the third, man. Yeah, you can go to Philosopher King Central and see snippets of that on YouTube. Philosopher King Central. That's what it is. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about some of the stuff that you'll see, man. Yeah, I've never been what you would call someone who plays well with others. Yeah, man. Or I guess you could say I never had the mindset of a sheep. I've never had it. As much as I've tried to have it so I could fit in, I can't do it. When I go to a church or when I go to a mosque or a masjid or anywhere, man, you know what I mean, where there's a lot of people congregating and doing the same thing and just basically circle jerking themselves, I immediately get disgusted, man, because I'm always about, free thought. water, in order to purify itself, must flow. You know what I mean? And I've always seen, cats just, just hugging the nuts of a pastor, man. I've always seen that as stagnant water. I've never really seen that as a flex. Like, I go to this church and Pastor such and such says this, and the Bible says that, and it says in the Quran, and the Surah, and the Ayat, and no. Spare me. Well, what do you think, my nigga? You know what I mean? Do you have an original thought in your head? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you? You know what I mean? And that's the funny thing, right? Because I've every now and then, me and my uncle, man. My uncle, he's he's an interesting character, man. Street nigga, street dude, but he has been compromised by his association with women because his whole household is women, from his wife, his daughters, his mother-in-law that stays with him. He has a steady influx of female energy, man. You know what I mean? So he tends to do things like a woman and think like a woman. And he doesn't necessarily see it or perceive it, but I can tell. You know what I mean? I can tell. Because number one, like if I'm having a discussion with him and he always wants to talk about Trump. Oh my God, man. These old ass niggas and their preoccupation with hating Trump is crazy, right? And then he'll say something that's totally out of pocket that don't make no sense. He ain't read nothing. He ain't had any sort of study on the issue. And I'm trying to school him on something, but he won't let me talk. He won't let me get it out. I'll be like, well, see, this is where you're wrong. And, allow me to correct you. And then I'll start my spiel and he'll be, no, no. Yeah. That's female behavior, man. Male behavior is sitting back, studying the lessons, and seeing what the individual that you're speaking to has to say. No, man, I ain't on that, man. And hey, he will accuse me of being involved in a cult. Oh, that's good smoke right there, boy. Good smoke. Yeah, he'll accuse me of being in a cult. I'm like, nigga, I'm not the one that's going to church every Sunday, man. I'm cult proof. You know what I mean? If I haven't bent the knee to your mythical Christ, I'm definitely not going to bend the knee to your perceived white supremacist Trump. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you got it all wrong, Jack. You're the one that's in a cult. You're the one that has should I say, a predisposition to be lured into a cult and to be lured into groupthink. That ain't me, Jack. You're the one that's in church. You're the one that, you're being a good little boy and you're doing what you're told by the so-called Helios Biblios, the good book, the Sun book. That ain't me. Nah, it ain't never been me, Jack. So I don't know how you can accuse me of being or having cult-like behavior with Trump when, I laugh in the face of your church and your Bible and your Christ. Yeah. How audacious and bold is that? Yeah, man. Whatever, man. Yeah, man. You can always tell a brother, man, has been compromised, man, by female energy, man. Motherfucker won't let you talk. He just steady running his mouth, won't shut up. Be like, do you want to hear what I have to say? Or you just want to keep running your goddamn mouth, man? Jesus. And, it's hard to really, I guess you could say, critique my uncle, man, because he is the coolest nigga ever, man. He really is, man. He's a good dude, man, but he just He like the rest of these niggas, man. He is not a deep thinker, not in the least. Not even close. Just like the other day, he was talking about, see, I told you Elon Musk was running the government. I told you he is a conflict of interest because he has a $400 million contract with the government, and Trump gave it to him. And I'm like, oh my god, nigga! Like, you motherfuckers doing just a lick of research, bro. Just a little bit, bro. Just something. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, he didn't get that contract from Trump. He got that while Biden was in office. That's from the Biden administration, man. Huh? Huh, your ass, nigga. Shit. Know what you're talking about before you speak on it. Well, it's still a conflict of interest. I wouldn't necessarily say that because you're trying to find waste and fraud in the government. Him having a contract to build armored trucks, I don't necessarily how you call that waste and fraud. You know what I mean? It all depends on the quality of the truck, I would assume. But, when you have DEI expenditures, millions and billions of dollars going overseas to teach men how to dress in drag, I would say definitely that's a waste of money. We shouldn't be spending money on that. But I can see why we would spend money on armored trucks. I can see why. Yeah, that would be something cool to have in our arsenal, as far as the military goes, if that's what it's for. But from what I'm hearing, Trump rescinded that, which Biden gave Elon. It's just simple shit. Simple shit. Niggas don't read. Niggas don't research. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, man. Let me include or let me educate you niggas, man, on what's going on. Which I don't seem to really understand about why these Democrats are doing what they're doing, while they're trying to block Elon and trying to block Trump, while they're trying to drive a wedge between Elon and Trump, right? See, this whole thing, it only works if you keep the waters murky and blurry and muddy, right? A lot of these individuals that's in Congress and in the Senate and whatnot, that's in government, they have like $100,000, $200,000 worth of, as far as their salary goes. And by the time they leave out of their station or their office, they're worth millions. Yeah, 20 million, 30 million. How do you think that happens? Because money laundering schemes and kickbacks and whatnot. Yeah, money laundering schemes and kickbacks. And it only works if you can keep the waters murky. It only works if you keep everything, should I say, what's what they call it? You don't have any transparency. You don't know where the money's going. You don't know who it's going to. You don't know where it starts. You don't know where it ends. Yeah. hmm That's why they don't want Elon prying around trying to figure out, who's getting what from where. They don't want that. Shoot, they got a good hustle going on. They got a racket going on here, man. Plenty of money laundering schemes to go around. That's right. Plenty of kickbacks to go around. Yeah, they can't have that, man. Like Trump is messing up the hustle, man. He is messing up the game. And that's why they fought so hard to try and keep his ass out of office. So now I got my uncle, right? They black folks just lack common sense. He's listening to the boob tube. He's listening to TV. And I'm always telling him, stop listening to what that TV has to say. That's government sanctioned propaganda. We can go back to Project Paperclip. We can go back to Project Mockingbird. It has been conclusively shown that the CIA is involved in government, or excuse me, TV programming. You don't know shit about COINTELPRO. You don't know shit about that. But, every step of the way, he's listening to what the hell's going on TV. He's like, Elon Musk, he has access to all of our data. And Your bank got access to all of your data. Your hospital got access to all of your data. Edward Snowden conclusively uh, shown you that what was it? What is it? What's that agency called? Oh man, it's one of these alphabet agencies. I forget. But yeah, he's shown conclusively that the government been spying on all you niggas. You know what I mean? For 20, 30 years. Everybody's got your goddamn data, man. You know what I mean? The Democrats are trying to fear monger you into coming against Trump and Elon, man. Like, who cares about that shit, man? Like, everybody's got your data. Well, he's trying to get rich. I'm like, you are aware that these individuals like Trump and especially Elon's like the richest man in the world. Like, well, what does he need with your punk ass social security number? What is it? Well, he's going to sell your data to get more rich. I'm like, nigga, you sound crazy. Stop it. Could it be that he just genuinely wants America to thrive? Because, I mean, face it, if America goes down the toilet, more than likely, so will much of his riches and his revenue. You can't kill the goose that laid the golden egg, man. A lot of his riches and a lot of his prosperity depends on America doing well. You know, so I'm not necessarily saying that he's being an altruist about this. You know, I firmly believe that he understands that. You know, I got to keep America going. I got to resuscitate her because if we keep going down this socialist, communist rabbit hole, more than likely, you know, that will affect my bottom line. But it's not contingent upon him having your personal information. As a matter of fact, it works the opposite. Yeah, man. My uncle, man, you know, he got the mind of a woman, you know, because he really thinks that the shit he sees on TV is real. It's not real. It's smoke and mirrors. It ain't reality. They're lying to you ad nauseum. Jesus, man. But yeah, man, I don't really have any problem with anybody that you know, they get into religion. And, you know, if it makes you happy, if you love what you're into, if you if reading a scripture or a holy book or a holy tome calms your nerves and it settles you and centers you, by all means do it, man. I've always been the opposite, man. Like I thoroughly just get disgusted with coloring within the lines, being a good boy. You know what I mean? I just it's not really something I'm into, man. You know, if that's what you into, then you know, God bless you. You do your thing, man. You know what I mean? But you know, it's like religion. You know, it just another case in point. The thought processes of a religious nigga, man. It's just you know, like my aunt, man. Once again, God bless him, I love him, man. But he's working against his own best interest, man. I was telling him once again, check. Mm. I don't know why you got this big grudge against Trump, man, but you know, you're working against your best interest, man. Because his sons, which are my cousins, they were locked up on some trumped up charges, no pun intended, in a Fed joint, man. But it was some, you know, it was some drug shit, and it was not violent. But you know, the Feds caught him with, you know, actually some money. They didn't really catch him with product, but they caught him with a lot of money, man. And so they've been locked up on some circumstantial shit. And I told my uncle, well, look, man, look, like I think you're betting on the wrong horse. I don't think you want Kamala Harris in office because Kamala, she's known for cutting the heads of niggas, man. You know what I mean? She's an opportunist. You know, she's just looking to get money and to build her career off, the dead bodies of niggas, man. You know what I mean? Like, don't try and put her in office. Don't do it. You want Trump in office because Trump's got a First Step program. And that program, it can help your sons, which are my cousins, get out of prison early, get an early release date, you know? But for some reason, that's not good enough for him, man. He's got this irrational like hate for Trump, and I'm like, well, if anything, if you don't agree with none of this shit I've ever said to you about Trump, you would think that you would rock with this because this has got your sons got skin in the game. You, Trump, and your sons got skin in this game. If you go ahead and put Trump in office, y'all could go ahead and rock with that First Step program, and my cousins can get out 5-6 years early. Assuming, of course, it's some nonviolent charges. But he just this is how you know that this nigga is brainwashed, man. That he is, yeah, man. He's brainwashed by that TV, man. Because it's like, why would you not want to have a man in office that could get your sons out of prison? Why wouldn't you want to do that? And I showed them articles of, there's a lot of brothers that got out of prison because Trump let them out of prison. Then I also showed them articles where Kamala Harris was known for locking niggas up for nothing. Not only, I mean, she was locking up mothers because some of the mothers' daughters had like, what was it, sickle cell, and the girl was missing school, so Kamala was locking up, everybody that had sick children. And I'm like, do you want this broad in office, man? Because if you want this broad in office, your sons ain't going nowhere. They're going to do it full time. Ain't no First Step program for the brothers. None. But if you let Trump up in that mug, yeah, it's a good chance, man, that they could skate up out of there. They could get 5-6 years early release. And so I could see the gears turning in his head, man. But, he's fighting the programming, man. He's fighting the programming. Like I said, that's how you know a nigga's been brainwashed. That's how you know they've been programmed. I'm like, really, man? Your own flesh and blood can actually benefit from this on some serious shit, on some real shit, man. Yeah. Your boys could be coming home extremely early. But for some reason, like, he wants to listen to this TV, man, they gonna cut all your Social Security off. Listening to the lies and the propaganda of the Democratic Party to fear-monger you, to scare you away from a government audit. I'm like, man, all these niggas, man, it's like they can't. 2 and 2 ain't 4. It's not. For years, niggas been whining and complaining about the government, been whining and complaining about the court system. And then as soon as they see the government doing something highly suspicious to Trump with all these crazy ass court cases, yeah, man, niggas been knowing this for years. Niggas been knowing that, the government and the courts is crooked and corrupt. We've been knowing this. And now we see it played out with Trump. But yet still, black folks who've been knowing this will turn right around and say, Trump is a felon. Trump is a felon. He's felonious. I'm like, what? You the same nigga, man, that was whining and bitching about how they got your cousin Pookie and your Uncle Ray Ray. about how they threw the book at him and how you have a what was it? Disproportionate, crazy ass sentencing structure, a two-tiered justice system for whites and blacks. But yet and still, you got the nerve to fix your mouth and talk about how Trump is a felon. And you seen the corruption that was going on. Well, you didn't see the corruption. You didn't see the lawfare. Now somehow you seen it when, your people was under the scrutiny, when your people was under, the government's thumb or the court's thumb. You seen it then. But you couldn't see it when they jumped on Trump. Incredible. Absolutely goddamn incredible, man. These niggas cannot think their way out of a wet paper bag, son. God damn, man. So, yeah, check it out, man. Just coming here to vent a little bit. Hopefully, y'all will visit my Patreon. That's right. It's in the description box. Cats have been asking and inquiring about my adult entertainment site. I don't know, man. It's up and running, but I'm still thinking about just shutting it all the way down, man. It ain't really making enough money. You know what I mean? And I am thoroughly, I don't know, man. Shoot. I really feel like I should just let these women live in peace. I should just let them just live in peace, man. Because it's not really generating the revenue that it used to, man. So it ain't, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. It really ain't. Once again, man, you can support an old school player at my Patreon, man. It's in the description box, man. And once again, stop thinking like a woman. All you grown ass men out there, stop thinking like women, man. You know what I mean? If you got somebody that you rapping to and y'all having a discourse and y'all talking about politics, religion, or whatever, stop running your goddamn mouth, man. Actually listen. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of y'all, man, y'all can't wait to goddamn run your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about, man. You have failed to do the proper research to understand what you're saying. A lot of you don't. Well, once again, Big Mike, the almighty Triple XL, coming at y'all live and direct. Max City Limits Radio Show, Philosopher King Central, and we out.